It's beautiful here in Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. I was outside, went for a little walk already. It's 67 degrees, bright sunshine. And for those of you anticipating a white Christmas, well, sorry, we're not.
Pops, I am going to have some gifts under our Christmas tree for you this year. We don't have a tree, nor do we have
Celebrate
gifts.
Christmas, but that's
Either way,
the
only reason I could afford them was because of our dear friend, Jeff, over at findthebestcarprice.com/insider, link down below, aggregating and bringing together all the different manufacturer insights in one place.
Yes.
So if you are buying a new car and you're doing it, the time that this video comes out and not next month in January when we have this built into your auto advocate.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Go to findthebestcarprice.com.
You know what?
/insider, link down below.
I'm going to make a suggestion for you, Jeff, and this is more of a seasonal suggestion, but findthebestchristmastree.com/insider, where you can give people a list of where all the little Christmas tree vendors are throughout all their communities. What a great concept.
That's why he's your auto advocate.
And not your Christmas tree advocate. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I did attend school at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. The main campus is in Indiana, Pennsylvania, and it is known as the Christmas tree capital of the world.
That's not what you told me. You told me it was considered to be, or the nickname was like the Harvard of Indiana, Pennsylvania. That's what you said. You said, I went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania, the Harvard of Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I went there too. Yeah, and I had a Christmas tree No.
All right, Dad, let's get into today's video. The title of the video is something along the lines of how COVID, the pandemic, has changed and altered the car buying process.
Yes.
Let's jump into it. It came from research from TrueCar.
TrueCar, I've heard of them.
We've done a video about TrueCar. We'll probably do another video about them in the future.
Yes.
They sell your leads to dealerships. Cool business model, not our favorite, but they did some interesting research here.
Yes.
They surveyed, 1,200 people, I think?
A whole 1,200, yes.
You'd think TrueCar has better reach than that, but whatever.
You would think, if there's I don't know, 55 million car sales a year. 17 million new car sales a year. I don't know. You think you could find more than 1,200 people, but what the hell? Let's go with 1,200.
We got a lot of heat for our JD Power video.
Yeah, we're going to get more on this one.
JD Power's play for play, which they are definitely pay for play.
Yeah.
But so is Consumer Reports, in case anyone didn't know that.
No, because Consumer Reports is not.
No, it is.
It is not.
The PR firm that I fired after we spent $11,000 with them and got nothing out of them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They
pretty much. No, of course not. No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put them on blast. They're good people.
Yeah.
Just wrong fit. If you want a video about that, let me know.
No.
They pretty much broke it to me gently that Consumer Reports is pay to play too.
Wow. Did you know that when Consumer Reports buys a car, they pay MSRP for the car?
Really?
Yes.
They should watch our videos. They should know that they can negotiate.
They don't want to be beholden to anybody. Whatever the MSRP is, they go in, they buy the car, and then they do whatever it is they do to the car.
If we get big enough, we'll start buying cars just to show how my dad can negotiate car deals. I would love to do that. Okay, we have this is the longest intro ever. TrueCar did this study. We don't really like TrueCar, but the research is interesting. Although, one other thing.
Yeah.
The former founder of TrueCar actually watched one of our videos. This was a couple months ago and emailed me directly. And when I got his email, I looked him up because I was like, I recognize that name. And then I went to his LinkedIn and I was like, wait, the former founder of TrueCar just emailed us. He watched our videos.
Well, good for him. I hope he learned something.
All right. Okay. And if you're watching this one, survey more than 1,200 people. What has changed, Dad, because of COVID in the car buying
what
process?
has changed is that 36% of car shoppers surveyed stated that due to COVID-19, they plan to do more research and more shopping in the shopping process online.
Makes sense.
So over a third of all car buyers want to be able to shop and purchase a vehicle online. Now, I can assure you that there aren't a third of all dealerships that are prepared or willing
or interested
or even considering figuring out how to sell cars online. But that's really what the public wants. Well, 36% of them anyway, so more than a third. And that number will grow.
Oh, definitely.
And as that number grows, more and more dealerships are going to be forced to figure out how to do business online, and where they lose some of their leverage, because they're not holding you hostage. They can't really play the typical sales games with you. They can't hold your trade hostage.
Yep.
They can't hold your driver's license hostage. So these dealerships, and we've all come across dealerships that don't seem to play fair, and the ones that don't seem to play fair ultimately are going to have to figure out how to get into the online version of really selling cars, and that could have a huge impact on the industry.
So I was doing some research the other day. You probably know by now we've started selling vehicle service contracts, colloquially
I've
called
heard.
extended warranties.
Yes.
Link down below if you're interested in that.
Yes.
And one of the things that I saw on my LinkedIn was from someone in the industry. He interviewed a former CEO of a company that got sold to Cox, and I went to that company's website.
Mm-hmm.
It's called F&I Express, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And one of the stats, Dad, on F&I Express's website, F&I Express sells digital F&I products to car dealerships.
Okay.
So there's all this money tied up in building a digital experience that benefits the car dealer.
Yes.
And one of the first stats you see on their marketing website is 63% of car buyers, or consumers they call it, want to research aftermarket products on their own.
Is that where we come in?
Okay. And so I sent that to the team.
Yeah.
And I said to them, I think we're the only company that wants to build the products for the car buyer, not for the dealer.
Not for the
because
seller.
literally they interpreted that statistic as, well, we need to build, like a digital F&I product so that we can make the most money from them online. Not people have a lot of questions and don't feel like they can get answers to them. And so this same 36% or whatever the number was that want to shop online, I think it's the same thing there. Like they get exposed like to the TrueCars or the Edmunds or the KBBs or literally anything where they just sell your leads to the dealership. Like no one is doing the opposite of that, which is people will probably even pay just for help to buy a car. It's
Well, we know they will.
Oh yeah, I mean people do pay.
We did that.
We did that earlier this year. Yeah, we had to stop that. We got too busy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was too overwhelming.
Yeah.
And we still get questions about that. Are you taking on any more customers to negotiate car deals for them? And no, because we can't provide the level of service that we think that you're entitled to.
Yeah.
I think the word that my son always uses, we couldn't make it scale. Okay, in the sense that it just required too many hours per transaction for one person.
For sure.
Yeah, to be able to figure out how to make a car deal.
But it does speak to like how the deck is still like the odds are still stacked against you in that deck of cards, even when you're doing the online purchase, because all the investment in the industry is made for digital products that serve the dealership. And I've demoed some of them now getting into the industry, and it's just like, okay, noted. We're going to build that before the consumer. Anyway, so more people want to buy online.
Yes.
That
54% of shoppers are very or extremely concerned about being exposed to COVID, and that number's up from 50% in September. Now, it's easy to figure out why.
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily go down that rabbit hole.
Just because there's more cases.
Yeah.
Fewer consumers now expect to delay their purchase. So people have accepted the fact
25% was the number.
Yeah, that there is, and that's down from 37% in April. That there is a pandemic, but pandemic or not, they either need or want a vehicle, and they're going to make it happen.
And so I think that makes a lot of sense because you've seen more and more folks recognize that this isn't going to just blow over.
Yes.
And so I want my own mode of transport. I'm not going to go get on public transport. It makes sense. So I'm not going to delay.
Yep. 7 out of 10 shoppers saying they would be more likely to purchase with a dealership offering online payments, trade-ins, financing, elements of TrueCar's payment experience. Whatever.
Well, Dad just read literally the bullet point from the press release.
Yeah, screw that.
You gotta read ahead.
Yeah, well, I can't.
So obviously TrueCar is trying to build these things in, and they've got good data. 7 out of 10 people are interested in what TrueCar is building.
Well, at least of the 1,200 people that they surveyed.
Yeah, but we're going to get flamed for this one, just like we did on KBB.
Yes, I know.
But I think it is important
No,
that more
it was
JD Power, excuse me.
Yeah.
But I think it is important to recognize that more and more things like Car Gurus earlier this year started offering financing options built into their website as well. At the end of the day, all these things filter right back to like the leads getting sold to the dealer, which is okay. It's not ideal. We're obviously working on a whole different angle. It'll take a lot of time, but it's neat to see that transition is happening.
Well, we're not selling any leads to dealers.
No, we have absolutely no affiliation with any dealers.
I mean,
no. So like just to like spill the beans. So like we're working on like financing options, but like building out a network of credit unions that are affiliated with YAA. So then we can work directly with the credit unions. So then, because you can go to a dealership right now with a pre-approval from a credit union, and the dealership's going to be like, okay, let me beat it, which is fine, because then you ultimately end up with a better interest rate.
Yes.
The existing solutions like a TrueCar solution or the Car Guru solution, from my understanding from having done the research, is they're integrated with either software called Route One or Dealer Track. Google search those. Those are big industry players. And essentially once they capture it from the lead source of TrueCar or from Car Gurus, they just shotgun it into the dealers, or they put it into the dealers' Route One or Dealer Track, and then it gets shotgunned out. So you're still just going through the dealer versus what we're trying to do, which is like, we're going to build the network of credit unions. We'll then just send your credit information to the credit unions, who will then return it directly to you. So then you walk in with your pre-approval. How did we get there?
I'm not sure, but I'm so glad we did. Okay, because
all that's somewhere in the future.
Yeah, that'll be a fine service for you to offer once you're capable of offering.
Yeah, like a year. Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Well, yeah, but
it will be good.
Yes. 35% of shoppers state that they are concerned about potentially diminished income in the future, and that's interesting. That's a scary part, because that means over a third of all people are thinking, I might not be making as much money in the future, or I might not have a job in the future, which has led to a sizable percentage of people that are hoping that manufacturers will come out with programs that if they were to lose their jobs, they could either return the vehicle, or because Hyundai did that years and years and years
They did
ago.
That earlier this year too, when the pandemic started. Yep.
And they did it
Hyundai Assurance, I think.
Yes, and they did it during the Great Recession. Knowing that there would be a small percentage of people that would end up having to return cars, but it indicates that there's still some fear that it's going to take a little longer for the economy to recover and for people to be able to make the type of money they were making in the past. What else is on here? 37% of shoppers state that they would be encouraged to work with a dealer that's offering at-home test drives.
Do you remember before we started working on your Auto Advocate?
That was one of our plans, was to figure out how to coordinate the at-home test drives for dealers.
Yeah, so I had, before we started working on YAA, I had a whole deck. I had a company name. I was pitching to potential investors, and it was all about coordinating and offering a service for at-home test drives for dealerships.
Yes.
Because I thought that was a way to improve the buying experience. I still think there's an opportunity for us to do that in YAA, actually, as a member benefit or as a perk or something like that. We'll figure that out in the future, but it's telling that most people want to do the test drive, get the vehicle delivered to them.
Well, they want to do, it's going to come down to more and more people are going to want to do things at home, at their pace.
Or at my schedule.
At their schedule, whether it's at the home or the office, but that they're not really going to want to travel to the dealerships anymore. And with good reason.
I mean, look at every other industry. Like, I think of I walked past a mattress warehouse recently, and it was just dead inside. You know what? You can buy your mattress online, and then you have the 7-day return policy, just like you can buy your car online.
I think Casper gives you 100 nights.
Look at that, right? Yeah. So it's like, which one will be the cockroach? Which one, like the nuclear bomb will go off, but which one's going to stick around forever? Is it car dealerships or mattress shops? I mean, those aren't obviously the only two options, but I think car dealerships are going to be most resistant to this change.
I guarantee it. Yeah. I guarantee it. And that's the ones that are slow to adopt it are the ones that are going to face the most difficulty moving forward. We see the comments all the time. People really like the Tesla business model way of being able to buy a car, and I don't anticipate dealers making it that easy, but I do anticipate dealers changing their business practices to be able to accommodate more customers to do it that way. It's just there's no real good reason not to anymore.
We need them to keep doing it in a really bad way, because then that creates...
Yeah. I'm sorry. Lost my head. Keep doing the same shit you're doing, dealers.
All right, Pops. Thanks for running through this. I had fun with this. It was probably one of our more all over the place videos, though. So sorry. But if you made it to this point, thank you.
Yeah. There's no roadmap to how we got to where we got.
We are in Las Vegas. All right, Pops. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Zach.